we need to discuss the genuine prospect of Arsenal winning the league. Joining me to help me go through it is none other than the wonderful Ade Oladipo. Of course, I'm going to ask you to subscribe to his YouTube channel. The link is in the description below. Ade, something's happened this weekend.
Yes.
And it's huge. Arsenal are capable of winning it, and there is a particular reason. I've been saying it for a long time, but something's changed.
Go on.
They were lucky against Leeds. And sometimes being lucky is better than being good. In fact, if you can choose one or the other, if you're going to be good or lucky, be lucky.
Yeah, I'll take being lucky.
And they weren't resilient. They weren't good. They weren't deserving.
They should have lost.
And yet they got 3 points.
Should have lost. And they walked away from Elland Road with 3 points they didn't deserve. And that, some might say, is the signs of champions, isn't it? That's what you do.
Yes.
That's what you do. When you're playing bad, can you nick a result somewhere? That's what Man City have done for so many years. Liverpool have done it as well. Man United in the past, your boys Chelsea, Arsenal doing it. So for all their star players that play really good football, intricate football, yesterday it was a backs-to-the-wall job, and they found a way, courtesy obviously of a Rodrigo mistake, but they found a way and got the result, and they're on a run right now. Was it 9 out of 10?
9 out of 10.
9 out of 10.
I know.
Arteta.
This is what I don't understand. If you win 9 out of 10 games, of course you can win the league.
Yeah.
You're well over a quarter of the way through the season. You're top of the league. You've been top from day dot, pretty much. You've extended the gap this weekend that we've just seen.
Yeah.
Manchester City have dropped points, Arsenal have won.
Yeah.
Significant, and it's symbolic because they have extended their lead on the top. And the only people now who I seem to hear say that they can't win the league,
Arsenal fans.
yeah.
Yeah. You need to convince them. Like Liverpool fans are thinking, 1 second, wait a minute, we remember this run. We know what this is like. You can keep at this pace. Man City fans understand it as well. Chelsea fans certainly understand it. Arsenal fans seem to be the only ones. And I understand why, right? Because of what happened last season. They're probably thinking, if Jesus takes a knock, if Saliba's out, we're in trouble. No, mate, you're on the crest of a wave. Ride it. Ride it until the wheels fall off. And right now, I'm so impressed with Arsenal. Saka's finished, by the way, yesterday.
Great goal.
What's he doing?
Great goal.
On his right foot.
He's been playing so
Yeah,
well,
I
hasn't
didn't know he had that in his locker.
he? Yeah, well...
Not that angle, not on the right foot. Didn't know he
Yeah.
had it in his locker.
I mean, yeah, from that angle, it was ridiculous. It came from the most ludicrous pass that you'll see.
What's Rodrigo trying? I've watched that pass back a few times and I still don't understand what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you've had a good start to the season, Rodrigo, but don't start thinking you're Zidane.
Well, he was hooked at half-time off the back of it,
There
wasn't
you go.
Yeah, it was bad. But Arsenal now, I'm beginning to think that they are the real deal. And obviously, I was very scathing about Mikel Arteta. And when I was scathing...
You was? Have you done an apology video yet?
No,
I
because...
think you need to do an apology video to Arteta like you did at Haaland.
No, but do you know what, Ed? I don't necessarily think I do, because this came up yesterday, actually, on the kickoff when we were sort of debating Arteta. I think that you can be correct then...
True.
And as the facts change, my opinion changes.
True.
When they're getting slapped at home by Burnley, they're losing 1-0 at home to Burnley. I said he needed to be sacked.
Yeah, when you
That
waved
was
the
true.
white flag at St James's Park back end of last season, I agree with you. It's changed now, though, hasn't it? It's changed. And he's done it with 3 players. 3 players have come in. Saliba coming in next to Gabriel, Ben White going on to the right. Fantastic. Now, defensively, they're very strong. Ramsdale yesterday made a couple of old school proper saves. And I mean that in the sense that Ramsdale, I've always felt like he does good saves, but for the cameras. Yesterday were good saves, just really good saves. He was vocal, good penalties. It put Bamford off for the penalty. But I think Gabriel Zinchenko coming in, Saliba, they've taken that club up another level completely.
The whole recruitment process in the summer, though.
Amazing.
It was top drawer, wasn't
Amazing.
it? And most importantly, yesterday, it was resilience. You know, it was resilience and luck. That is worth its weight in gold, because Leeds basically threw the kitchen sink at them.
Yeah.
And they weathered the storm and they got lucky and they didn't really deserve it. And yet they are top of the league.
Yeah, and that's one thing you've got to appreciate, because we always, I think, especially start this season, we've waxed lyrical about them going forward. Like Martinelli's so exciting, and Odegaard in that hole, and Gabriel and Xhaka. Let's talk about the defensive midfielders, Partey and Xhaka. Let's talk about the back line. Honestly, Arsenal have got a bit of everything now. You look at like with most teams, like Liverpool, obviously, let's talk about them for quickly. You look at Trent and everyone says, okay, if you attack that Liverpool right side, you're going to see success. I look at the Arsenal team and you think, all right, where are the holes here? Where do we think we're going to get success from? Because in the midfield, we'll fight you. You know, you might outskill us, but we'll fight you. Partey and Xhaka will go toe-to-toe with anyone in midfield because they've got the engine. Up front, they've got legs. Mate.
What about Saliba yesterday? He hasn't put a foot wrong all season.
Yeah.
But yesterday was certainly his worst performance of the season.
It was.
Would that potentially be a worry? If I think they can win the league.
Yeah.
Do you, by the way?
No.
Really?
No.
I just don't understand how anyone can think they can't.
No, I still think, look, watching City yesterday, I know City dropped points to Liverpool, but I think we all know that City, this run that Arsenal run, it's so amazing. City do those runs every single season. They'll win 9 in a row, 10 in a row, 11 in a row. Arsenal now having to break a record. Arsenal are going to have to go on a 15-game unbeaten run and break a record, of winning games that they've never done before. I don't think they can do that.
But they've played 10. Yeah. They've won 9. They've lost 1. The one they lost at Old Trafford, they were the better team.
Yeah.
They're winning games in Europe. Yeah. I think there is a feel-good feeling around Arsenal that I don't necessarily think has been there potentially since the Wenger days.
What I will say about this run, and look, fantastic run, the big away games. You mentioned they went to Old Trafford and lost. Can they go to Tottenham Hotspurs and win? Can they go to Anfield and win?
But they've beaten Liverpool. In terms of who's
in
the top 5.
At home.
They've beaten Tottenham.
At home. They've got to go away to those grounds. And the one loss they've had so far is going to a big boy away. What happens when they go to the other away grounds, the big ones? Can they win then? Do they have the resilience? You mentioned Saliba playing bad yesterday. Can they keep their temperament? Big away games, away from home, then we'll find out.
I'm beginning to think that they are totally capable. Like, when you think about Leeds, Leeds beat Chelsea 3-0.
Yeah.
Leeds beat Chelsea 3-0. Yeah. So, when you're talking about difficult away games.
Leeds is a difficult one.
Yeah. Leeds, particularly in the form, the Don Revy stand, going mad.
They've also benefited from? Obviously, they've played in Europe, but unlike the top 4 teams in Europe where you have to put out your strongest team. If you're Man City, if you're Liverpool, you're Chelsea, they've been playing teams that they're going to smack up, so they've rested players. So right now, it's like they're playing the Thursday, Sunday, or the Thursday, Sunday, or the Thursday, Monday, and they're playing almost different 11s. When it gets deep in Europe, where they've actually got to then play their strongest 11, and then they've got to play their strongest 11 3 days later, I don't think they have the depth to do it like the other teams.
But they won't have to play their top team. Like, the top table at Arsenal won't have to play in the Europa League until the
quarterfinals.
Quarters.
Probably, yeah.
And by that point, they may know that they have a genuine chance of winning the league. In which case, you sacrifice the Europa League, do you? If you can actually win the Premier League?
My fear for them, and the reason I mentioned that run, or the Europe to the Premier League, is because I think Arsenal have a really good 13 players. Like, really good 13. And then it drops off drastically. If one of the two pick up a few niggles, like, okay, if Gabriel gets injured, what? Nketiah coming? It's going to happen.
Gabriel Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. They require the first team being fit. There's a lot of things that have to go well for Arsenal. And any team that wins the Premier League, by the way, there is always an element of luck.
Of course.
Like, even a team with the embarrassment of riches of Man City. Yeah. If, for example, Erling Haaland gets injured, they can survive, and I'm sure they will survive, but it's not ideal. Do you know what I mean?
Agreed.
And then, if you start talking about maybe De Bruyne, maybe Diaz, then it really does become a problem. So Arsenal are definitely there. But I just think that their performances even before the season, in fact, do you remember they beat Chelsea in Florida? Mm-hmm. Then the season started, and it's their ability to weather the storm that I think is most noteworthy. Do you remember against Palace, late in that second half, there was that surge from Palace? They came close to letting Leicester back into the game, but they didn't let Palace back into the game. They didn't let Leicester back into the game. There was a moment, actually, against Tottenham, although they were far better than Tottenham, there was a moment against Tottenham where I thought, are they going to allow Tottenham to get an equaliser?
Even against Liverpool, Arsenal scored first. Liverpool then went, bang, okay, well, take that. Arsenal went, no, you take that. So Arsenal, and look, I think they've got the second youngest squad in the Premier League, average age. So they got their legs as well. They got the legs. They're going to be going from the first minute to the 95th minute. They've got, look, the only reason I'm saying they can't do it is not because I think Arsenal back, it's because of City.
What about this as a theory? I think you could say that yesterday, the only thing that they can take from the game is the 3 points, which is basically all you want to take, don't get me wrong. Yeah. But there isn't anything else to take, particularly with the VAR situation. Like, had that VAR situation not happened, I think you could go, they were resilient. But because of the ridiculousness of the VAR, they weren't resilient, they were lucky. But is that something that you can take from the game? Like, as well as taking the 3 points, which is all that matters, being lucky is something that Arsenal fans should be embracing, isn't it?
There's two things. There's that, but there's also your big players stepping up when required. And although all season it's been about Gabriel and Odegaard, yesterday one of their key big players stepped up, and that's Ramsdale. So at the back, if I'm Saliba and I'm Gabriel and I'm Ben White, I'm thinking, you know what, Neville and Keane always should talk about with Schmeichel, and you guys should talk about with Peter Cech. I want to look behind me and I want to think, you know what? Worst case scenario, you get past us, you're not getting past him. Because we've got a top quality goalkeeper in there. And Ramsdale yesterday, that was the Ramsdale that everyone was saying should push Pickford for an England #1 jersey. He pulled off some really good saves yesterday. So they know they've got that there as well. Whereas that's been a bit of Achilles heel for Arsenal with Bern Leno, not quite sure. And is he going to replace him with Martinez? Now they've got a goalkeeper that they're sure of. They've got a back four that's fantastic. A midfield engine. Who knew Xhaka was going to be one of their key players? And you've got Odegaard in the hole. Honestly, there's a lot to like about Arsenal.
1903-04.
Yeah. That was the last time they won 9 out of 10.
That was the last time they started a season like this.
Think about the teams that we've seen. The teams that we're old enough to remember from...
Oh, mate, even if you go back to when we were very young. Rocastle and them.
That's what I'm saying. Then Rocastle.
Better than that.
Ian Wright days.
Mate.
Better than that. Better than that Invincible start. It's insane.
All the glory they had with Charlie George.
It's insane.
Better than that.
Yeah.
Mate, they can win the league.
They can't.
I'm beginning to believe...
When you say they can, yes, they can, but they won't.
I am beginning to believe...
You know, one thing I saw, someone tweeted about it as well. Like, obviously, everyone's talking about the World Cup, and Arsenal's players actually don't feature that heavily in the World Cup.
Mm.
So, so those players are ultimately going to get a rest, a lot of those players. You think about some of the stars that they've got. They're not really guaranteed to start in any positions in the World Cup. I think the only one that's almost guaranteed... Who is it?
Saka plays for England.
Guaranteed? No.
I think it's guaranteed with... I think
it's
we
Saka
could debate
it's Saka
it.
or Foden.
I think we
so
could debate
it's not a guarantee.
but I think Saka plays for Southgate. One way or the other.
Saka
even if
plays.
they play him in a stupid left back.
But that's it. Then you start scratching your head about who else. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they've got a lot of players that are going to go, have a rest for 6 weeks, come back fresh, bang again.
But you've been very positive there. Do you know what this Arsenal team are all about? And think about it. This is the most glorious Arsenal start, even eclipsing anything that we saw in the Highbury days or the Wenger days. Right? This is it.
Yeah.
Do you know what it feel like it's all built on? Momentum. This is a team built on momentum, isn't it? You don't. The worst team that you could play next week, Arsenal.
See, I thought that, Rory. And you know what? I thought losing to Man United from the momentum they had at the start of the season, I thought, okay, here we go. They're done. They've lost they've lost at Old Trafford. What do they go and do? 5 off the bounce. So even that shows me, even when there is a little blip in the road, they can regroup, go again. Then not only after the Man United, look, after the Man United one, it's like, okay, you got Spurs. Oh no, Liverpool are coming to the Emirates, who've had a good run in the last 5 or 6 years. You smacked both of them.
Yesterday, when they really needed it, Aaron Ramsdale.
Yeah.
You know, like when they really needed it.
Yeah.
Look, I think this can happen. I genuinely do. I'm not saying they can win the league.
Yeah.
Or they will win the league. I'm still edging towards City. I still think City will win it. But what I've been saying for the whole season...
So if you're edging towards City, you still think... That means you think Arsenal favourites come second?
You know what I've been saying to you for the whole season?
And I disagree.
City win the league by 15 points.
Yeah.
City win the league by 20 points is what I've been saying. I'm definitely reevaluating that. I think Arsenal are going to go all the way. Whether they win it or not...
Wait. So do you think Arsenal can go deep 80, 90 points?
I do. I honestly do. I don't really see how you can say they can't. We're never going to agree on this, are we? Should we ask that?
No.
Can you do us a favour? Can you comment below? Let us know. Do you think Arsenal are capable of challenging City all the way? Are they definitely going to finish second? Or do you think ultimately their challenge will falter?
As Arsenal do.
As previous Arsenal sides have done.
Yes.
Thank you all so much for watching this video. We really do appreciate it. Please do us a favour. Just drop a like, just so we can monitor it, make sure that you're happy. And as always, make sure that you subscribe to Adeola Depot's channel. The link is in the description below. We will see you all very soon.